Joining us now, Daniel Armbruster, the lead singer of the band Joywave. How are you doing, Daniel?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you for having me. Hi, Bailey.
Thanks for coming. We spoke to you previously this season on opening night. You came and hung out with Bailey, and then Bailey went and hung out with you at a show, and you came and you talked to me on All the King's Men Live. Turns out you are a huge Sabres fan. And as we said in that conversation, not just a huge Sabres fan, but a real hockey fan.
A real hockey fan
That's
is
right.
right. And as you can see here, I've got my favorite jersey right here next to me. It's a signed Jack Eichel
Um,
jersey from his rookie year. Uh,
Number one Sabre fan. That's right, Bailey.
number the number one Saber fan. Wow, I'm surprised they gave you a whiteboard, Bailey. I thought you'd have some type of like clever text to speech synthesis or a keyboard with really big keys on it or something.
He was hacking too many Zoom calls, so we had to take it away
Is it?
from him. So we gave him a whiteboard. He can't do any trouble with
All
that.
right.
But Daniel, the new Joywave album Possession released March 13th. You were all set to go on tour, but as we all know, March 13th was pretty much when the world came grinding to a halt. So the only one, not the number one. Gotcha, Bailey. Yes, the only Sabres fan.
This could be a Sabres roast right now. Yeah, it turns out everything got bad. How
Mhm.
about that? And normally, if I was dealing with something like a canceled tour, I would be watching a lot of playoff hockey.
Yeah.
Turns out, yeah, yeah. I don't know. When do you think it comes back? How does it come back?
I
You
mean,
got feelings on it?
I was hoping that there was going to be some news coming yesterday. They had a board of governors meeting, but no news. Which ordinarily they say no news is good news, but in this case, no news just means more sitting around talking to each other on Skype or Zoom. I'm
Yeah,
curious though, Daniel,
filling the content void.
has the album been performing well? I mean, given all things considered.
Yeah, I think that people have generally had more time for music, which is nice. I wasn't sure what would happen. I think that there's a large group of people who have been forced now to take a pause in their life and have found music comforting. And you think about the albums that really meant something to you when you were young. Why did they mean something to you? And you think about it, it's like, oh, I connect it with a summer vacation that I had from school or something like that. Like there's this time period where music is allowed to come in, and now so many people are working 100% of the time. They've got music going in the background. It's like for a lot of people, it's now pushed to the foreground, and I think that it's allowing a large amount of people to connect more with the record than they might have otherwise. Like if it was just allowed to play in the background, like, oh, I like this.
Well, I mean, I full disclosure, I have not yet heard the new album, but I love the old albums and I love the music videos. You hung out with Bailey at Staples Center on opening night, but then Bailey joined you for a concert. How was Bailey as a concert goer? Did he behave himself?
He largely behaved himself. He made his way to the front of the crowd and he demanded my attention in the middle of one of the songs, but it actually went great. I thought that would be the most challenging moment of the set, but the singer from Bastille came out and started tickling me during our set, which was the only time that happened on the tour, and he decided to wait till the LA show to do that. So I would rate Bailey as a less intrusive guest than the singer of Bastille.
I think that's the nicest thing anybody's ever said about Bailey. Less intrusive than the lead singer of Bastille.
Yeah, you could use that in your marketing pitches.
That's right. So listen, obviously we've said already there's no live hockey. We're all aware of what's going on. But creatively, does this give you an opportunity to get out of your own head and write music, or do you want to spend as little time as possible thinking about that sort of thing right now?
I've been trying to use the bonus time as bonus time, so I've been trying to be a little more collaborative. Our process when I'm making a Joywave song is very solitary, where I'm sitting down with my own thoughts in the studio and getting things out, and then eventually the other guys come in and help amplify things. But the genesis of it is very solitary for me. So trying to reach out and work with friends long distance has been really fun. So I've been doing a little more collaborating, and not with an intent to make it a Joywave thing, but just like kind of some side project things, or just purely bonus things, I guess.
Just to talk very briefly about your creative process, would you watch something, and I'm just going to use this because it's the thing that everybody's been talking about for 2 months, but would you watch something like Tiger King and pull inspiration from something like that, or are you able to keep pop culture references and things like that separate from the internal process?
I'm able to keep them separate, but there are things that make you have realizations in the things that you love. Like there's a song on our new record called Half Your Age, and there's this lyric in it that says all your heroes now are half your age, and it's that realization of getting older, and it's very much like looking at what we're doing right now and who we're talking about, and me saying, look at this cool Jack Eichel jersey I have here from this, that this 19-year-old signed for me, and I'm so excited about it. And it's this thing where you realize, like, Jesse, has our moment passed? Did we mess up, man?
Daniel, I didn't need this kind of personal attack in this call. I thought this was going to be a friendly call, frankly.
It's all fluff here. No, but that's something that does come in from the thing that you're doing. You're thinking about, what am I excited about? Why am I excited watching this game? It's always been, Bailey is timeless. I agree. Did Bailey watch Tiger King?
I'm sure he did. We talked the last time you were on about that very thing that you mentioned, which is, as you get older as a hockey fan, all these young players start coming up, and you realize that guys were born, after you'd graduate high school or whatever. It doesn't like Carol. Sure you don't, Bailey. But I'm curious, are there any players or any storylines that have been paused as a result of the season being postponed that you're really anxious to see them play out?
I'm anxious to see the storyline where they change the format to be by points percentage and 24 teams are allowed in the playoffs.
Sure.
Because that might mean that I get to watch a Sabres playoff game, potentially, possibly, depending on if it's conference-wide or divisional. It hasn't been a great year here. So I would just like the distraction of playoff hockey. That's kind of it.
Fans or no fans, or does it matter to you?
No fans.
Okay.
Because I can't imagine. I love things that are weird or just like outside of the norm. When are we going to see that? You know what I mean? It will always be the playoffs with no fans, and people will be like, "What was that? What was that?" That's actually kind of nice, Bailey. Yeah, but it would be a crazy thing to see, I think.
It would, and I hadn't even thought about this until earlier today, but Alex Faust, our play-by-play announcer, brought up the point that when the visiting team wins the Stanley Cup on the road, the crowd is usually pretty quiet for the last moments of the game, so it might not be too unusual, but yeah, you're right. If there are big moments, big hits, maybe a fight, to have no fans in the crowd, and presumably you'd be able to hear all the players, that would be something else. Given any thought to have you guys done any performances online for the fans?
We haven't. I know a lot of artists have, but just trying to replace the live experience to me is kind of, I don't know. I haven't seen anyone do it well. It's always like a bad version of a song you like.
Yeah.
Are you've been playing NHL on Twitch, right, Bailey? Yeah.
We've been doing a lot of stuff on Bailey's Twitch channel.
You should play against Paul, our guy. He's our drummer's a pretty good. He's not good at the NHL games, but he's good at video games in general. But yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine playing the hearing the call, like an exciting moment of like a goal with like 0.3 seconds left or something, and then trying to sell that in the empty arena. Do you add in crowd noise or something?
No.
Well, it's going to be just like weird. It'll be a one-time thing.
I figure if they do the bubble program that I've heard, where they'll have 8 teams quarantined in one arena, I figure the teams that aren't playing in that game can be in the crowd. I don't know. I think that might actually be as entertaining as the game.
Oh, that's actually pretty interesting. I hadn't thought about that. That's going to be, I don't know. I feel like the guys with families will hate that, and some of the guys who are like 19 or 20 and are just like exclusively identify as hockey player will be like, yeah, whatever we got to do.
Yeah, the guy's half my age, as you say.
Yeah.
Now, if a mascot bangs a drum and no one is there to hear it, does it make a sound? An excellent question, Bailey. The real question is if well, there's no fans for you to sneak up behind with your drum if there's no fans in the building, Bailey. Daniel, we understand that you put together a little clip package for us, though, of your fondest memories of LA Kings plays over the years. So why don't we go ahead?
and I have to tell you that I am such a Kings fan. I had this jersey made for me back at the home opener, and when they have they give you the opportunity to have a jersey made with your name on it. You're supposed to pick a fictional number, something that people don't wear. So I went ahead and picked a meaningless number that no player for the LA Kings has ever worn. With my name on it now. And yes, let's dive into some of the classic Los Angeles Kings clips. All right, so this one here we have Bailey getting absolutely crushed.
Daniel, I thought this was going to be a highlight package.
No, listen, it is in its own way. It was just a very special moment to me because it feels a lot like Bailey getting on people's shoulders in the front row at our concert at the Greek and screaming at me. I have to say, I had to get this one in. Bailey, I'm very sorry. All right. I'm very sorry, but look, all the clips from here on out, totally hockey plays.
Daniel.
Yeah, look, he could have scored. It could have been a goal. Obviously, this one kind of worked out a little bit differently. Kopitar helps him back over. What can I say? Big Kings fan.
I'm going to give you a pass on this one since it demonstrates excellent leadership and teamwork from Andrzej Kopitar to get Pearson over to the bench. Next up, Forbert Falls, January 17th, 2019. Daniel, I'm starting to see a trend here. I feel like you might have taken advantage of our goodwill. Oh, okay.
He's coming in, and he's down again. Look, I promise. I thought that one was a goal. I was at the Jeff Carter 1000th game. I'm such a big Kings guy. And okay, let's go to this one, February 28th. We've got Tyler Toffoli here, and he scored. Oh,
all right, Dave.
That hurts.
I see what you did.
That hurts.
I see what you did.
It feels like things just aren't really going well at the Staples Center right now, doesn't it?
Four clips, 4 pratfalls.
Yeah.
So it's some highbrow comedy that you brought us today.
I see how you might not trust me.
Well, I hope this clip is bringing a wave of joy to our Kings fans.
It's actually making me feel really good. Dustin Brown, we're gonna go with Dustin Brown now. He's a fellow upstate New Yorker.
Mm-hmm. As is Iafallo.
Probably why they hit each other right there. It's just some great man-on-man coverage right there. We get the full impact. I love a hard hit. Part of the game,
Now, do I get to come on your podcast and show clips of the Sabres losing games now? Like, is this? Do I get to?
You don't. You can come on my podcast though and show clips of Cal Peterson signing with the LA Kings.
I will do that.
All right, look, this last one, I promise. The Kings have won two cups, right?
Yeah.
And we got here 2014. They've just won, and oh no, look at that.
Yeah.
She's down.
All right, you had me going there for a second.
I thought maybe you'd show. That's somebody's family member or something. That's not good. But hey, they won, right?
They did. They did. And I have to admit that is one of my favorite clips. But you had me going there, Daniel. I thought maybe we might see one of Gabrick's goals from 2014, or maybe one of Justin. Well, there she goes again, hitting her. Oh Lord. All right.
What's we got there?
I don't think you could do any worse than that. or baseball.
Is that something to hit me with? Unbelievable, Bailey. You're supposed to be a role model. You're supposed to be a role model for the community. This is terrible.
All right, Daniel. Well, despite you having a little bit of fun with us at the end there, we appreciate you stopping by as always.
Thank you very much for having me. Hopefully, I'll see you at a game soon. It's always nice to stop by and take in a Kings game whenever I'm in town. So may we have a return to normal at some point, and maybe they'll expand the playoffs to 31 teams this year. We'll see.
That's how the Kings can get in. Daniel Armbruster from Joywave. The album is Possession, available now. Thank you again for joining us.
Thanks for having me.